Welcome back to more Disco Elysium. In the last episode, I finally had that nighttime meeting with a strange guy on the balcony who led me in here. Looks like he was having a little bit of an escapade with this bureaucrat from up above. Anyway, I'm going to pick up where I left off. I did have a book in my inventory that I did not read, so I could make this meeting on time. So let me start there. So here we go. We got the book 16 Days of Coldest April. The cover features a row of concrete buildings with a monochrome rainbow in the sky. It tells a rather excruciating story about two lovers during a period of ethnic unrest in Yugograd. The book has been filed under psychological realism.
In your hands you hold 16 Days of Coldest April by Yekaterina Dahl. The cover image shows a row of concrete apartments above which span a black and white rainbow.
Feels heavy.
Indeed, the book is unusually heavy in your hands, as though the cover were lined with lead. It would do that in Grad.
How long is this book anyway?
You flip through the book. The pages are thinner than you realized, and the type quite small and tightly set. It's nearly 600 pages long. Real art is dense and difficult. If it didn't feel like you had to wrestle a suicidal bear to get through it, you weren't really reading.
Look at the back cover.
The back cover is dominated by a black and white photograph of the author.
What does she look like?
She can't be much older than her mid-30s in this photograph. And yet, from this cover, the eyes of a sad old woman stare back at you.
Let me start reading. Page 1 of 600.
In cold, detached prose, the author describes a scene from one of the Yugograd riots in the 20s. Youths overturned motor carriages and set trash cans ablaze, while heavily armored guardsmen dash in and disperse them in a flurry of baton blows. The Yugograd riots took place from 27 to 29. Fueled by ethnic unrest and the state's repressive tactics, these events are often seen as marking the end of a brief period of liberalization known as the Yugograd Spring. Like all such periods, it is frequently memorialized in art and literature. As ethnic tensions run wild, a pair of young lovers meet each other on the street. Somehow, in the middle of all the chaos, they manage to lock arms and look into each other's eyes.
What happens next?
It would physically hurt you to keep reading. Are you sure?
Physically hurt me? I got some potions. Read 10 more pages.
They go through a brief and somewhat awkward love affair. And in the end, they betray each other and succumb to the absurdity of Gradian life. The man becomes a lens grinder, completely abandoning his former existence.
Let me get some medicine in there. Let me heal a morale as well.
He toils through the daily drudgery at the Lenka Polyfabricate. Happiness and fulfillment have eluded him his whole life. And in the end, he has nothing to do but dedicate himself to the craft.
And the woman?
She spends the next several decades standing at a conveyor in a Sosnovo fish processing plant. The smell of fish guts slowly seeps into her hair and skin, as every single one of her dreams dies, one by one. The memory of their short time spent together tortures the former lovers ceaselessly until the end of their days. Years pass in solitude, their bodies growing ever more decrepit.
Sounds like some sort of Dostoevsky novel. This is terrible.
As life leaves their remains between the soil sheets, their final thoughts are filled with regret.
God, put the book away. Okay. So, let me get out of here. Let me come around back. Did I ever get in here? I can't remember. No. I can't remember if I went in there or not. I feel like I did. Yeah, no, I guess not. Trying to remember what was what here. Okay, I think we're good for now. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to send Kim to go and take the body to the morgue finally. I think that's important. Although I kind of want to paint this.
Paintbrush? Check. Heavy fuel oil? Check. Now the only thing left to do is paint the wall. The paintbrush in your hand is like a loaded revolver. What will it be, Desperado? Quite a few things come to mind.
These are all great options. Let me draw a 3,500-year-old pictogram of a human being. Oh, that's pretty cool.
You've spoken. The wall will now silently repeat the message for a decade or so, until the sea air degrades the paint, adding another layer of detritus to the city.
I almost went with I Love Kuno, but I like the way this looks.
Very poetic. Real poetry. Should we return to our murder investigation? I hear there's a really bad one we are supposed to solve.
Okay, now with that, let me go send him off to take care of the body. Right through here, and then I'll probably end the night by singing some karaoke, right? I think that's what we'll do. That'll be fun. Wait a second. I can interact with this again. Must be because my stats are better now.
A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall.
Never mind, it was just something I could interact with again. Alright, that's fine. I already checked that place out.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red. It's guarding over the freezing corpse hidden inside its belly.
Let's bag him, Kim. Take him away.
All right.
He takes out a shiny black body bag and starts pulling plastic over the dead man's face.
I will need a little help carrying him. You take the hands, I'll take the legs.
Bag the corpse and drag it to the motor carriage. Okay, so Kim is gonna be gone for a little while, I suppose. Enough time for me to sing karaoke. So all these guys are still here. I'm gonna embarrass myself by singing in front of them. That's okay. It's like the kitchen is still going. Let me talk to her about her husband real quick.
Oh, hello, dear. There you are again.
She sounds glad to see you. You never told me you've seen the Phasmid.
Oh, you don't want to hear about some old woman's ramblings.
No, I really want to know.
Well, it was summer. I was building a racing track out of sand on the beach near a tall stand of reeds. Quite a tall one. Many times my height, I remember. When, all of a sudden...
Wait, where was this and how old were you?
I'm getting ahead of myself. I was 5.5 in Betancourt in the suburbs. My grandmother had a summer home there.
What happened?
The strangest moment of my life. I looked up and one of the reeds moved. Not like a plant, but like a living thing. It stood up and looked at me. Its body unfolded like some antique toy. I've never seen anything like it. I didn't know this can happen, so I reached my arm and touched the thing. It felt just like a stalk of reed, but it moved, swaying, towering above me. After a while, 20 seconds, a minute maybe, it left, went into the reeds.
Did you follow it?
I tried, but I was only a child. There was mud and high water. I couldn't see it anymore. I was just standing there knee-deep in mud, looking around me.
Where did you go? Don't go.
Then what?
I ran back home to my grandmother and asked her if reeds could walk, and told her they were looking at me. Of course, she just laughed at me, but I knew what I'd seen. For years, it was a story I told at parties when I wanted to impress boys. That sort of thing. Of course, most people just took it as a strange, amusing anecdote. So did I, honestly. But then I met Morel. We were on our first date when I told him my story. You should have seen his face. He said my descriptions matched the phasmid down to a T. Its white marble limbs, the way it moved.
So that's how they met. This is beyond significant for them.
You were on a date?
Our first, yes.
Its limbs were white?
Not all of them, as far as I remember. Some of them, on the inside like stalks of marble, if that makes sense.
How big was it?
It's hard to say how big things are when you're quite small yourself. To me, it seemed to be taller than I was then, but that's probably not the case.
What if it is the case?
Maybe you imagined it, Lena.
Of course. I've thought about it. But Morel says my report matches with the others. And I'm sure I hadn't heard of the phasmid as a child. Nor had my mother or my grandmother. So how did I know what to imagine? It was only when I started telling my story as a teenager that boys would tell me, Lena,
She lowers her voice, imitating a boy.
you trying to tell us you saw the Insulindian phasmid out there in those reeds? Get out of here. They just give me a cider and ruffle my hair and tell me to stop dreaming. But I saw it.
Thank you for sharing this with me.
You're welcome, sweetie. I do appreciate the chance to relive it whenever I get one. It was just such an impossibly sunshiny day. So warm.
I think there's one more cryptid I need to hear about, so I'd really like to hear about more cryptids.
Of course, dear. Is there a particular cryptid that you're interested in learning about?
What's the tiniest cryptid?
Cryobacter catlensis.
Cryobacter catlensis?
Yes, a unicellular bacterium that was discovered in one of the northernmost points of Kotla on the Boreal Plateau by renowned geologist Caitlin Mijanou some 70 years ago.
What's so special about it?
The bacterial colony Mijanou found had remained alive while frozen in ice for longer than anyone could reliably estimate, certainly from before recorded history. Mijanou disappeared shortly after injecting herself with the bacteria she had brought back to study, no doubt in hopes of prolonging her own life.
Wait, she injected herself with it?
Yes, the bacteria had survived in the ice since times immemorial. It is not hard to see where she could have gotten the idea.
You mean there's an immortal geologist wandering the world?
Yes, and she's quite mad, too. After she treated herself with the bacteria, she stopped aging, but also became increasingly eccentric and irascible, so that even her oldest friends were forced to pull away. We can assume that she has been living somewhere in the wilderness for decades now, all alone except for the Cryobacter catlensis coursing through her bloodstream.
This has been educational. Sadly, we need to discuss something else.
Of course, dear.
I ran into your husband on the coast.
Goodness, how is he? Did he say why he hasn't returned yet?
The old man clasps her hands together over her blanket. He's fine, ma'am. As I had suspected, he couldn't get back earlier because the water lock on the canal was broken. Now he's just finishing up some work.
Oh, yes. That's my Morel. He's bound to catch a cold staying out there for so long. But I am so relieved to hear that he's okay. Thank you for putting an old woman's heart at ease, if even a little.
You haven't, however. There are dangers out there. Our aging bodies fail. Her heart won't rest until Morel is safely back with her.
That's all for now, ma'am. Okay, let me talk to him. I have the other bird taxidermy that I can give him, and then, of course, I want to do the karaoke, okay?
Can I help you?
Gart, I found a new bird for the whirling.
What is this thing?
It's no biggie, I just thought it would look nice on the wall. I'm kind of that cop.
What, the interior decorating kind? You know, I'm sorry. This is actually a nice bird. A competent piece of taxidermy.
He inspects the bird somewhat suspiciously, then mellows.
I can fix it to the plaque and have a new bird in the establishment, I guess? So, I don't know. Thank you. I'm gonna go with thank you.
Gart, I need to sing karaoke now.
No, you don't. It's not happening.
Yeah, but Johnny Law is about to tear it up. Sad style.
The whirling doesn't need more sad style. That's one of the styles it can do without right now.
Why do we even have the PA system if no one's going to use it?
It's for no one. It's a prop. I'm not letting anyone use it after the great karaoke catastrophe of 44.
What happened in 44?
A lot of people got killed because some arsehole wanted to sing karaoke.
It's not a prop, it's for your clients. I know it's used.
Okay, yes, it's for some clients.
I'm a real client, I've paid my bills, and I have the right to use the karaoke machine.
Ha! Well, we don't have any tapes. They all got stolen.
It's alright, I have my own song with me.
The man in the vest and the violet shirt stares at the tape you've just given him. He begins to frown. Hard. This is the look of a man who's defeated. He knows he's out of excuses.
Fine. Climb on that stage and do your thing. Just get out of my hair. I'll plug it in for you. Damn this karaoke machine.
I'm having it uninstalled, he mumbles to himself. Oh yeah, time to do the damage.
Goodbye. Let's do it. Let's do it, boys.
The stage is all set up for your performance. Feels silent. You can hear the pellets creak under your feet. You feel a little dizzy, a little unsteady suddenly.
So, are you ready for your thing now? Let me know when I should turn on the karaoke carousel.
Well, let me leave real quick, because there was like a little purple thing here. This feels right. You belong here.
The stage is... You feel a little...
So, are you ready for your thing now? Let me know when I should turn on the karaoke carousel.
Well, I guess I need drama. Dang it, I should have looked at that. Sorry about doing this 3 times, but let me see about anything that's going to give me drama. So, of course, this shirt. Spectacular for my performance. Anything that's going to give me drama. I feel like I had a lot of drama items, but not really seeing many. Here we go. That's dramatic. Oh my god, that's dramatic. And then let me look at everything else to make sure I'm not getting any negative bonuses. Yeah, this one is minus drama. I don't want that. This is absurd. Let's do it.
The stage. You feel...
So, are you ready for your thing?
Immediately, a loud feedback noise startles the room. You feel like an amateur. How are you supposed to hold the mic? Should you just sing into it? Where should you stand?
Let me look around the room first.
The bar is full and buzzing with chatter. No one is paying you any attention. But still you feel your knees turn to noodles. Okay, now a couple is looking at you. Even worse, they are going to hate you.
83%. I'm a little too close to the mic, but that's alright. I'm ready, Gart. Hit play.
The air is thick with anticipation. Someone dims the lights as the music starts. Okay, here we go.
would often go there, to the tiny church there. The smallest church in San, though it once was larger. How the real may rest there. Down through the mist there. Toward the Seven Sisters. Toward those pale cliffs there. I would often stay there. In that tiny yard there. I have been so glad here. Looking forward to the past here. But now, you are all alone. None of this matters. No, none of this matters at all.
That was spectacular. I love how he was getting more and more into it as the song went on. Pretty interesting lyrics. I would often go there to the tiny church there, the smallest church in Sensane, though it once was larger. How the real may rest there, down through the mist there, toward the Seven Sisters, toward those pale cliffs there. I would often stay there, in the tiny yard there. I have been so glad here, looking forward to the past here, but now you are alone, none of this matters at all.
A lazy applause fills the room. You feel your hands shake as awareness of your body returns to you.
I don't want to dedicate this song to anyone. I performed it for myself.
The microphone amplifies your voice in an uncomfortable manner. Someone coughs. Most people have gone back to talking now.
Good, good. Are we ready? I want to unplug the microphone now.
Last words?
Evening will come. We will sow the white sail. Workers of the world, unite. Actually, no, I'm gonna leave enigmatically by saying nothing. Come on, do I get any feedback?
Ah, smallest church in Saint-Saëns, right?
Yeah, the church is actually my love. Things are really bad with it.
Cool. Now, what can I do for you?
Goodbye. I think I can think of no better way to end the night than that. I don't think there's much else I can do today. I can go inspect traps, but I don't want to go run around all over the place. I think most people have called it for the night. I think we are going to go to bed as well. I did pay for tonight here at the inn, so I can stay here instead of the shack.
The door is closed. Still nothing.
One day I'll be able to get in there. Maybe I could go in Kim's room now that he's gone.
The lieutenant's door is closed. No response. What are you doing? Still no response. Where is he? Isn't it party o'clock? Is he not worried that you haven't found the murder weapon yet? Anything to not face the hanged disco man yet.
Bang on the door.
You hear the sound of a drawer closing, followed by the shuffling of feet.
What is it, Harry? What time is it?
It's party time.
Isn't it always party time with you?
You're going to have to figure this one out on your own.
Good night, Harry.
I thought he had gone to the morgue, I guess, for the autopsy, but maybe not. Okay.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. It's barely covered in steam anymore.
Let me let the mirror be for now. So I need some electrochemistry. Do I have any? I do, but I would have to put a point into it. I mean, let's do it, I guess. Right, it was locked until I put a point into it?
A mirror hangs on the
Yep.
bathroom.
Let me put a point into it, because I've stocked up a ton of points. Where is electrochemistry? There it is. Let's try it out.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. It's barely covered in steam anymore. It's your face in the mirror, adorned with the expression.
So let me attempt to stop the expression from happening again.
Still not happening. It won't come off that easy.
Alright, let the mirror be for now. Fine, so I'll try that again another time, but for now, let me go ahead and go to bed.
The bed is still cold from the broken window, and not too inviting. But it's yours. You've earned it.
Go to sleep.
It's not easy, but your bones are so tired from what feel like weeks of work on the case. You have to try. After what feels like hours, you feel you might be sleeping.
Thoughts, baby. A million little lights in the dark. You're one fine instrument, brother. All those faces and all those names. All that laughter and screaming and scheming around. Every corner and every street.
Recorded in you. Forever. On Faraday.
Spinning on empty.
On and on it goes. For untold hours. At the disco where you first asked her to dance. Rising. Rising. Above the dark curvature. The great wingspan of sleep. Studded with stars.
Behold, there are millions of them down there. The first time. The last time. The smoke in her mouth. The plotted flowers. The faces turning, changing.
What is it?
It's the world, Harry boy. And you're made of it. Every day you're out there, you make more of yourself from it. I'm afraid you can't be unmade now. You can never forget this shit.
The rain, the snow, I don't want to. It's beautiful.
Beautiful. It's stuck on loop, whirling, spitting out words and images.
You're the son of the world again. Harrister, a ceaseless agent. Picking up litter and old newspapers. Collecting your little bubblegum wrappers and idiotic picture postcards. Meaningless, meaningless keepsakes.
Reading your awful letters and recalling things, aren't you? The endless names of the world. An address book you are. The map of a city.
But what if I want to be the agent of nothing?
It's too late. You're not made of nothing anymore. You're something now, Harry. I tried to drown you in the black water, but you re-emerged, kicking and screaming, running. And for what?
For the working class. For Revacon. Always and only Revacon.
Solving your little crossword puzzles. Doing your tasks. Crossing names off lists. Trying to become some sort of world detector. It won't make it okay. It won't put smoke back in her mouth.
I can't give up. I have to keep going for Revachol.
There he goes again. He's a real political animal, our Harry. He still doesn't see that it's the world changing around him.
He's got no idea what he's in for.
Why?
'Cause only love can break your heart.
Let me feel the pillow under my cheek.
Beep, beep, beep. The alarm is ringing, Harry. The disco circus goes on and on. You barely slept 3 hours last night.
You can do it. It's nothing. Do it for the city. Go. Do it for the picture puzzle. Put it all together. Solve the world. One conversation at a time.
We're awake.
You were right, brother.
There's a sudden tightness in your lower intestine. What? What's going on?
Back there, in your sleep, all the weak-willed delinquents, dilly-dalliers, foreign moneylenders, insane anarchists, and yes, the woemen. They've run this place to ruin.
Those sons of bitches.
The game was rigged from before you even knew how the pieces move, soldier.
What's going on with my gut? Did I not eat enough?
No, brother. Forget about your gut. We've got much more pressing matters to focus on. It's time to turn back time.
A solemn gurgle emanates from the depths of your stomach.
I will send you back to the time when the sun had not yet vanished, when it was still setting into the sea. The time of the suzerain, the time when love was still possible.
Think of all the possibilities. I want this.
To go back with the knowledge and the experience you now have, and to do it all over. Do it richtig this time. Protect the suzerainty, clean up the city, revive disco music, and get her back. You could save Revachol. You could be the man, brother. No one. Don't ask about her.
Wait. Get who back?
You fool. Second chances are not about questions. They are about actions. Are you ready to start taking action, brother?
I like that. I like that a lot.
Ultramarathon here meant Revachol. Our streets and all that. It's all there is. Just move on and answer the question.
Okay, how do we do this?
There must be others like you. Men who long for the days when words like loyalty and love meant something. People whose yearning for the past is so great they barely live in the present. Those are the men you need to find. Those are the guys who know.
So how do I find these men?
Think, maybe you've already met someone like that.
Let me think about who that would be. No one misses the good old days like Renee.
Now we're making bank. A man with guts and a memory. I felt it too. He could be a treasure trove of wisdom. Who else?
Measurehead seemed to long for the glory days of his Seminese ancestors.
Now, there is a man who values the past with passion. And you know how the saying goes. He who clings to the past shapes the future. That is not a saying. It makes no sense. Measurehead is exactly the kind of man who'd know how to step back into the past.
Gary would probably appreciate old Revachol.
Oh yes, Gary is exactly the kind of guy we want. He knows something. Who else?
The fat lorry man was giving off that longing vibe.
Bullseye. And that's the vibe we're looking for. Those are the people with answers. And by longing, you meant blatantly racist, right?
That gray-haired lorry driver might know something.
No, not her. She's a woman. Anyone else?
No one else comes to mind.
4 is a good number of traditionalists. It's plenty. Let's go see what they know.
All right, I'm in.
History will remember us, and this time we don't have to worry about her being kind. Praeterea Redia, Kingsman. Charge for Revocol. Charge for love.
Okay, very interesting indeed. I think that this is going to be a little bit of a shorter episode just because it makes sense to kind of end it here before we get going with this full day. So I hope you enjoyed this one. It was pretty climactic. We finally got to sing karaoke. Exciting stuff. We're about to begin day 4. Hopefully we'll have some autopsy results. Want to keep working towards the main murder mystery, but I also want to investigate everything on the side, of course. We'll see how all that plays out. As always, leave a like on the video. I appreciate you guys. See you next time.
Thanks for stopping by the Renaissance Gaming Monastery. I hope you join our community on Discord and Twitter. These videos are produced with a lot of hard work and love. If you think they're worth $1, I'd be grateful for your contribution. You can send a thanks donation or become a member on YouTube. You can also support through PayPal, Patreon, or even with cryptocurrency. All links are in the description. See you on the next video.